evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you for being here. On behalf of the Zebulon Chamber of Commerce, its board of directors, and the member businesses that we represent, we welcome you to this evening's Candidates Forum. Chambers of Commerce are invested in communities they serve, and they host candidate forums in support for town leadership. Our programs of work contribute to a positive business climate that actively supports pro-business and economic development policies. While we do not endorse candidates, the Chamber values the opportunity to offer a platform for the community to hear from candidates. Joining us to facilitate our time this evening is John Clark, a longtime co-anchor of the ABC Eyewitness News, morning newscast, and occasionally lunchtime newscast as well. He's not a stranger to us in Zebulon. We've had him here with us before, so please help me welcome John Clark.
Thank you, Denise, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good to see you all today, and it's good to be back in Zebulon one more time. So happy to be here, and I bring you greetings from all your friends at ABC 11 Eyewitness News. Well, we want to begin by introducing you to a very familiar face. Mayor Bob Matheny is here, and he is running unopposed, which is always a very nice thing, isn't it, Mayor? Let me tell you about Mayor Matheny. He moved his family to Zebulon in 1970 after serving with the U.S. Navy. He was elected as Zebulon's mayor in 1994. He's active in the North Carolina League of Municipalities, an advocacy group for local governments, and served as the president of the organization in 2016. He and his wife, Dr. Ann Davis Matheny, celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary in October 2016. Congratulations. The mayor is a licensed commercial pilot, enjoys hunting and fishing, and is a North Carolina journeyman beekeeper. So, very taste and interest. Please welcome Mayor Matheny.
Thank you, John, and thank you to the Chamber for this event this evening. And just for the audience to know, it is being live streamed on Eastwake TV. So the crowd may not be huge here, but it may be better out there. So again, I thank you for that. Some of what John said was what I was going to say, a little bit of my history. So I'm not going to bore you with repeating that. However, I will tell you that prior to running for town board, I did serve 2 years on the planning board and was chairman the second year. And then I've actually been elected for 39 years and have been mayor for 24. I am running unopposed, but I asked for the opportunity to make a statement this evening because whether I'm opposed or not, I think the public needs or has the right to understand how I think and what I think is important. So that's what I want to do very, very quickly. Why did I run again? Isn't 39 years enough? I really love municipal government. There's just no question about it. I've never aspired to go for another office. I just really enjoy being involved in municipal government. And I also believe that I still have something to contribute to municipal government. I still have an appetite for it, if you will. And I do obviously have a lot of experience, which I think will be very useful in the fast-changing times that we have here in Zebulon, and we are changing very quickly. There's a lot coming on. I've said for years that Zebulon, well, I'll include Wendell in this, but we're the final frontier of Wake County, but now it's starting to grow and get the rooftops that we needed to balance our tax base. We've been very strong with an industrial tax base. You can lose one industry, it'll kill you. You can lose one house and you can survive. So we needed the rooftops to balance that, and that's what we're seeing happen now. The board's agenda and the things that I'd like to work with them and see through is North Arundel project, city streets resurfacing, bus service, current and future, what we might do with that, and residential development right now primarily along Beaver Dam Outfall, which is a sewer outfall line that has opened up a lot of land for residential and some commercial development as well. We're working on downtown. streetscape grant, facade grants that we're putting money up where people can match it and use it to help our downtown, and doing, long-range growth planning. We're working on a UDO, Unified Development Ordinance, which basically codifies all of our development information and ordinances, so you have one book to go to, if you will. And then we're also doing strategic planning to see where we might go in the future. I have pet projects like everybody. Some of them I'll get, some of them I won't. It's just the way it is. I would like to see wayfinder signs put in town, so it tells people where downtown is. It tells people where Eastern Regional Center is, where our community center is, where our parks are. And if you ride around, you see wayfinder signs, and I think they're very helpful to a community. I would like to see, maybe in conjunction with the Chamber, a new citizens informational packet that would tell them what stores are here, where they are, and what services are here, how to acquire those services, and who to go to if you have a problem. So I'd like to see some brochure or package put together for that. I have for a long time wanted a nature trail, and I say a long time, 15 plus years, along the lower easement from Little River Park all the way down to Five County Stadium. And my pet name is the Catwalk, but I'd like to see that at some point developed as a nature trail down there. And then also I'd like to see a blue way from the Little River Park down to the Tarpley's Mill. And staff went down that one time to take a look at it. There were a lot of downed trees. I tend to think that the most recent hurricane might have opened it up again, because I know I have canoed it in the past myself, and I think it could add something, to the recreational assets of the community. And then I would like to, can't be here forever, very obviously, but I would like to mentor any new board members that come along, and we have, all of us, and nothing against us folks, but we're all getting a little gray, and there's going to have to be some younger people that are going to step up to the plate. So I'd like to be able to work with them and mentor them for both the board and for the mayor's position, because my day will come when I won't be mayor. And then finally, I would be amiss if I didn't talk about the one thing I'm very passionate about, and that's Little River Park. I very much want to see that dam rebuilt down there. I think that if we get FEMA money, that's the way we should use it, is to rebuild that dam. But beyond that, I've started having some conversations with people about matching grants, taking that money to get additional money that we could do other things with if we wanted to upgrade the park. But I'm very passionate about the dam. It's a real historic icon for Eastern Wake County and Zebulon, and I'd like to see us rebuild it. And I did qualify that if we get the FEMA money to do it. And right now that FEMA money is on hold because of the Texas crisis and the Florida crisis, and perhaps even Puerto Rico. So that's me in a nutshell. I'll be around if anybody has any questions. I'll be glad to chat with you later on. But thank you again for being here this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now it's time for our candidates forum to begin. And in the interest of time, we're not going to read the bios for our three candidates tonight, but we do want to take a moment just to welcome them and to say thank you for attending this forum. Annie Moore, Beverly Wall Clark, and Glenn York. Can we please give them a round of applause? Thank you. Here's how the forum will go tonight. I have a series of questions. You'll have 1 minute to respond. We have in front of me here a device that has 3 lights. Green means go, yellow means you have about 10 seconds left, and red means it's time to stop. And we have a dutiful timer over here. And if we go a little bit beyond that, I'll be interrupting gently as I can to let you know that your time is up. So we'll start with Annie Moore for the first question, and then Beverly Wall Clark for the second question, and Glenn York for the third question, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, et cetera, et cetera. That's how our format will go for tonight. So let us begin with our questions. The first question is, share how the qualifications, qualities, or life experiences you possess will make you a successful commissioner. Annie Moore.
I would say a commission, I would do a lot of things to bring things to town, Zebulon, to make Zebulon be great, because we need a lot of things that I see that we need to do in Zebulon, such as bringing downtown, as Bob has stated, to look better. And I also would say we need like a shopping center close to downtown. I would say maybe like Mason, J.C. Penney, I can't think of another one, Cole. And that's the only thing I can say.
Thank you. Beverly Wall Clark. Shall I repeat the question, or are you okay?
Repeat the question.
Okay. Share how the qualifications, qualities, or life experiences you possess will make you a successful commissioner.
I have served 4 terms on the commission, and I grew up here in Zebulon, and I've been here 65 years, and I love the town, I love the people. My father served as mayor in the 80s, and so we had, we were exposed to the politics back then. And I just want to, represent the people that have meant so much to me, and where I have raised my family in this town, and I bring the community together, and just make this place as good as possible, because I just love it.
All right. Mr. York, question to you. Do you want me to repeat it, or are you okay?
No.
Okay.
I feel that I'm qualified for this position. I have my educational background and my experience in state government for 31 years, Department of Public Safety. I was an administrator. I oversaw budgets, did long-range planning on various committees, fire and safety. Public safety is one of my probably most interest, because that's my background, and to make sure that the citizens in this community, that's my #1 thing, is public safety and fire safety. I know that that is an overlooked entity at times when we just see police officers riding up down the street, but they do have a very important job, and I think this is a very safe community. And with the addition of highways that will be coming in and growth, that will be something that I'm very concerned with.
Thank you. Question number 2, and we'll start with you, Ms. Clark. What will be your top 3 priorities during your term?
Top 3 priorities. Downtown is my first love. I'd like to see more development, and the other day I was riding through the area, and you can see things are happening now, so I really think that's coming to be, so that's happening. Also, work on the Little River Dam, what will be done there and how we will handle that, and get the FEMA money to make repairs and make it a great place for everyone. And the other thing is just to keep the people informed of what's going on, of what we're doing, making sure the Unified Development Ordinance is finished up, and we have that to work with.
All right. Mr. York, top 3 priorities during your term.
Economic development with regards to revitalization of downtown. You're working closely with groups and organizations that want to see that happen. Also, as I mentioned earlier, public safety, fire and law enforcement. It's just a matter of time. We're going to need another fire station if we keep growing, because we're going to outgrow the one that we have. And also continue to work on the strategic plan for the community of Zebulon, and using our resources and our revenues as wisely as possible.
All right. Ms. Moore, top 3 priorities as commissioner.
I would like to see more sidewalk here in Zebulon, and I also like to see, like we said, downtown, again, like I spoke a few minutes ago, I like to see the town come to the board more often, that we don't have that many people come to the town, come to the board meeting. I like to see that, see the community get together and come and voice their opinion, let the town, let the commission know what they want in the town of Zebulon.
Question number 3, and Mr. York, will begin with you. In your opinion, what has been the biggest success for Zebulon in the past 2 years, and why? These could include things like employment, the farm fresh market, events, partnerships, economic development, new ideas, business expansion. The biggest success for Zebulon in the past 2 years.
Well, I think one of our largest would probably be the BB&T data center that's come on board. A lot of folks don't really know that the impact that it will have as far as our tax base is concerned. Of course, that's more industry, which the mayor had mentioned we need more residential, and also the residential piece is beginning to come on board. So those are two of the most important things that I see that's happening right now.
All right. Ms. Moore, the biggest success for Zebulon for the past 2 years, and why?
Farmers market had been a good thing for us. People coming to buy little groceries and stuff, you know, especially like they can come here and get a lot of things cheap that they can't get in the grocery store. Right. So I like that.
And Ms. Clark, biggest success for Zebulon in the past 2 years, and why?
Biggest success. Go like Annie, I think the farmers market has brought the community together. It's a great place for people to meet, people to sell and people to buy, to support your local vendors and meet people that you don't even, that you didn't know. It's a great place of fellowship. And also the downtown, we have seen small businesses start coming into downtown. So I think that is getting ready to really take off. I think we're going to see more and more of that. And by working with our chamber, it has made a big difference.
Very fine. Question number 4, and we'll begin with you, Ms. Moore. With the growth that is coming to Zebulon, with more expected to come, what do you plan to do to prepare for that growth?
Talk to the people in Zebulon, in the community, let them know what's going on.
All right. Ms. Clark, what do you plan to do to prepare for the growth that's coming?
Well, I think we have to look at all our programs here in Zebulon that we offer to the citizens, and think about what we can do to them to bring them up to speed to meet the needs of all the new and younger families coming into town. I got to meet some of the ladies that are in Weaver's Pond last week, and we are just so lucky to have they were such a nice group of ladies, and we just need to reach out to the new people coming to town and see what we can do to make it better.
Mr. York, what do you plan to do to prepare for the growth that's coming?
I think also allowing individuals to become more involved with community activities. I was at farmer's market one weekend, and the food truck was there, and it was just lines of people lined up for this food truck, Maine lobster food truck. And there were people that were coming from surrounding areas just for that food truck. I met folks from Smithfield, from Selma. I met a couple from Maine that had moved to Knightdale. So just those attractions and getting to know different people from other areas that have a totally different thought process, and have them join in our community, and I think they would enjoy it. In fact, most of them enjoy the small town atmosphere. And one lady from Durham was telling me that.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Question number 5, and Ms. Clark, it will go to you first. Public education is an important factor in families determining where to live. The town has approved construction for 1,800 plus residential units for Zebulon. How are we preparing for future schools as our community expands?
We're looking at meeting with the school system, with the facilities and construction department, to see what their plans are for the future, because it would have to come from them first, but we would need to make them know what's happening down here and how the growth is happening. We have 2 elementaries and a middle school here in Zebulon city limits. So we'll just have to stay on the Wake County Public Schools and see what we can do to make our schools better.
All right. Mr. York, how are we preparing for future schools as our community expands?
Well, as Ms. Clark had mentioned, the schools are basically controlled by the school board. Getting involved with our local school board representative to make sure that they are aware of our needs in this part of the county. Of course, the county, they have to take in consideration that the growth and the numbers and the population, and also the availability of land to build new schools on. So being involved with the school board representative, letting them know just our needs and that we really need larger schools in this area. It's just something about schools that bring a community together, whether it be sports or whether it be PTA or whatever, but it's also a connectivity opportunity.
Thank you. Annie Moore, how are we preparing for future schools as our community expands, hundreds of new units coming to town?
First, I would like to say, get the parents involved with the school, and so they be able to go to the PTA meeting and they know what's going on, and that will help them to voice their opinion about the children at school.
Our next question, question number 6, and Mr. York, you'll go first this time. The town is currently undergoing a UDO, that's Unified Development Ordinance, update process to shape the way the town looks and grows. The group has held 8 focus meetings to garner input from our community. Have you been involved, and how do you plan to use the feedback from these meetings?
Well, first of all, it's always to hear the voice of the people and what their concerns are, because a lot of times it may not be the same thing that I'm concerned with. And to answer any questions that they may have that concern them, and usually it's just an educational piece. Most folks have questions about things that they don't know or don't understand, and to try to help them understand, you know, the policies that's involved and why they're involved, and maybe a legislative piece that's attached to it, the reason that we have to do things a certain way. It's more just involvement and educational piece.
All right. And Ms. Moore, question. With the 8 focus meetings to garner input on the UDO update process, have you been involved, and how do you plan to use the feedback from these meetings?
To get people, I would say to get people involved, let them know what's going on.
All right. And answer over. Mrs. Clark? Should I repeat the question, or you're good?
That's fine. I was involved with it, I think, when they started it about 2 years ago, and it has gone through different stages and restarted some, and a lot of us had some really grand ideas, and then we all got together and had to change it a little bit. You know, we always have such a wide vision, but now we're pulling it back in and looking at the different things that can be done to make Zebulon a better place. And the people are giving us tremendous information and helping a lot with the development of the UDO.
Our next question, question number 7, and Annie Moore, you will go first this time. Facade grants and streetscape matches are new resources available to our downtown businesses. While these are very helpful tools, they aren't a fix for everything. How could you be personally involved in creating new energy and supporting new resources for our downtown?
Making sure that downtown will look better, make sure we have the stores, different type of store will come in and open up for downtown. And because we used to have a theater here, and that would be good if we can put that back here and trying to get some of these teenagers and stuff off the street so they won't be hanging around downtown.
All right. Ms. Clark?
Could you repeat the question?
Certainly. Facade grants and streetscape matches are new resources available to our downtown businesses. While these are very helpful tools, they aren't a fix for everything. How could you be personally involved in creating new energy and supporting new resources for our downtown?
Well, we have to support the businesses that are down there. The ones that have been there for a long time, try to shop with your local merchants, support the new businesses that are coming in. I mean, and making it a walkable neighborhood. I think that's nice. I live close to the downtown, so I would love it to be, be like that. And I get involved with the chamber. They help, and the town with the facade and grants to make sure that the people there know that they're available and that they can apply for them.
Very fine. And Mr. York?
The facade grants are something that we've just started. It's very innovative, and it's the beginning, I think, of more things to come. The facade grant is basically just to kind of do the appearance from the outside, but we also know that we have a lot of buildings downtown that are old buildings, and they need a lot of infrastructure and improvement as far as bringing them up to codes. The facade grant does not cover that. Hopefully that business owners will come together and form associations downtown to help assist other business owners or to help each other in some of those improvements. Some of the landlords haven't really done anything to some of these vacant buildings in a long time. So I foresee as a vision as we grow and have more economic resources.
Our time is up. I'm sorry. Okay. And our question number 8, and Beverly Wall Clark, you will go first this time. What hurdles do you feel we need to overcome to position ourselves for the growth we want?
For the growth we want. Traffic. And we're working on the North Arundel Avenue corridor. But a lot of people have mentioned to me that, you know, the traffic on a Friday and backing up. So I think working and supporting the project and seeing what we can do to make traffic flow better, even to different areas where new development is getting ready to come, that we make sure we can get to where we want to go and make it as good as possible for everybody.
All right. Mr. York, what hurdles do you feel we need to overcome to position ourselves for the growth we want?
I agree with Ms. Clark. I think the main concern is traffic control. Folks being able to come and go, and well, that's just one of the signs of growth is traffic problems. But trying to stay ahead of that curve and have the resources to spend the money where we can help control some of that traffic.
And Ms. Moore, repeat the question, or are you okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I would say the same thing like that, because we do have a lot of traffic here around Zebulon, especially like out by, like going out by Walmart. There's a school out that way, and I think we need more policemen out there to help direct that traffic, especially around Zebulon.
All right. Our last question, question number 9, and Mr. York, you will answer first here. What do you think are key items that need to be addressed or included in the 2018 budget session, and how will you support them?
Well, the main thing is utilizing what resources we have to the best of our ability, get more bang for the buck, try to stretch it as far as we can. We're very limited in our resources right now. Bringing folks together to see just how much, where the priorities are and where the money should be spent.
And any more? Question to you. Key items that need to be addressed or included in the 2018 budget session, and how will you support them?
I feel the same way like Mr. York, trying to get people to see how we can spend things, spend the money, you know, here in Zebulon.
Right. Beverly Wall Clark. Question?
I think we have to look at our different departments and see if they can do the job that they're intended to do, if they have enough staff. I think we have to look at the funding for that, for the recreation department, to see if, because as people come in, it needs to grow. And whatever will make the town better, we just need to look at it, look at the funding, and decide what is best for the people here.
Thank you very much. One moment, please. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have sped through these questions tonight, and we have some extra time. So I think it might be nice if we give each of the candidates a moment, a minute or so, to give a closing statement. So I guess let's see. Any more? I guess you'll go first this time, since that's our order. So you have a minute for a closing statement, whatever you want to say.
My closing statement. First, I'd like to thank the chairman for inviting me to come this afternoon. And I'm Annie G. Moore. I am running for Town Commission of Zebulon, but I need your help. I have lived in town of Zebulon all my life, and I have served 9 years on the planning board of Zebulon, and I have been on the Zebulon Board of Adjustment. And I am married to James Moore, and I have one son, James Moore Jr. And if I would like for you to vote for me on November the 7th, and I will try to answer any question. If I don't know the question, I will come back and tell you. I will find out.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. And Ms. Clark?
I grew up in the town of Zebulon, have lived here all my life. My parents were Frank and Jean Wall. I'm married to John Clark. And I have 4 children and 3 grandchildren. I've lived and loved this town all of my life. I have a deep desire to commit myself to the preservation of the qualities of life and the families and the growth and all that is involved in the making this town a better place. I will serve the citizens well. I will keep them informed and involved in any decisions that we need to make. I'm proud to be a part of Zebulon, and I've been a member of the Board of Commissioners for 16 years, and I'd love to serve another term. And I will just want to make this place a great place to live.
All right, and Mr. York.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for conducting this candidates forum. I will continue to stay in touch with the everyday needs and concerns of our community. As a native son of this community, I value the improvements in our quality of life. I will continue to work to ensure the needs of all the citizens are met. The landscape of our community is definitely going to change, and we will need to continue to work for those needs for all the citizens. We must also support and promote things for the future, economic development, public safety, strategic plans. I will continue to support and be involved with the local organizations such as the Boys and Girls Club, which has a Read and Feed program, the Rotary Club, Zebulon Youth Council, Community Advisory Committee for Job Resources, Affordable Housing, Habitat for Humanity, and Passage Home. I also promote and support the League of Municipalities, Wake County elected officials, and Wake County Transit Advisory Council. If you will vote for me, you will be voting for your future. Please vote on November the 7th.
Thank you very much. And can we give our 3 candidates a round of applause? Thank you for participating. And thank you, Chamber, for sponsoring the event tonight. I think no matter what happens, Zebulon is in good hands. And that is the end of my part. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners, for being here. And thank you for the other Commissioners that are with us as well. Thank you for sharing your passion for Zebulon. Communities with committed citizens are communities that move themselves forward with purpose. Your presence here as a community tonight lets these candidates know that you care about where we're going. So I applaud you all, and I hope to see you continue to be involved in all that matters to Zebulon. One evidence of a community moving forward is when you see a coming together between government, private, public, and nonprofit organizations that make good things happen. This year I was part of one of those collaborative projects. The Women's Club has been wanting to see some more happen in the downtown, especially around the holidays. Robin Snow with Public Works for the town of Zebulon has dreamed for years of having a Christmas tree that sets us apart. The Chamber was invited to the discussion and as a third partner for this joint venture. Using the newly designed streetscape match that your town council approved in 2016, we researched, shared ideas, and came together to purchase an amazing Christmas tree that will be unveiled this December. On the back of the handout that you received when you came in tonight, you'll see information about holiday happenings in Zebulon. The weekend wraps lots of family-friendly events into one big celebration that starts from Saturday morning at 10 and ends Sunday afternoon around 4. So make sure you join us at the tree lighting, sing loudly with the carolers, and mostly marvel at this 20-foot tree that was a group effort made possible because committed citizens like you decided they were ready to move forward. John, as a thank you to you for being here tonight, we are delighted to present you with a Christmas ornament that celebrates this commemorative year for Zebulon.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
So you can take take a look at his if you'd like later. It's an ornament that was commissioned by the Charleston Mint, and it actually just arrived here a week and a half ago. And it has on the ornament, we've got it etched, and there's the Christmas tree. So every year there'll be an opportunity for us to have a commemorative ornament, but the Christmas tree will always be the main focus because that's what's made this happen. So thank you again. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, John. And I believe they'll be around if any of you have questions. Have a good evening.